Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I wanted to do a video review for the Hush Ice weighted blanket. So I've actually just rolled this out here on my couch here that I've got in a separate office. We kind of use this as a spare room sometimes, so I thought I'd use this as a little demo. But basically this is a weighted blanket that you could use to help with many things that you might be dealing with, whether or not it's anxiety, maybe you're having trouble sleeping, insomnia, maybe you're someone that just really has a hard time sleeping at night. This may be a solution for you. So with these weighted blankets, this is something that's going to keep you really from a temperature perspective very cool at night. That's the idea of this particular blanket. It's called the Hush Ice. So it's not going to make you feel like you're sweating really too hot at night. You might be someone that deals with that. So this is first off going to help with that. And then second, many of the other ailments that I mentioned, the weight of the blanket is actually going to prevent you from doing a lot of tossing and turning at night while you're sleeping. And then you're also going to be kind of, because of the weight, in a position where it's going to allow you to relax more and fall asleep. You may find that this is something that for many of you, you're really going to enjoy it. And for some of you, you may not like it. I'm going to say it's kind of preference. I found that with myself, I really enjoyed using this as a primary blanket as opposed to a comforter. My wife really didn't like it. She really wasn't a huge fan of it. So we ended up kind of settling on something else. But I actually use this as a spare blanket for either like a guest bed. And right now I have it in here on a couch. So usually if I'm like gaming at my TV here, I'll use it as something to keep me warm while gaming. So I found other solutions for it. But I think I figured I'd note that because this may not be everyone's top choice. Ultimately, I think though, what I would say is as you go into buying something like this, bear in mind the actual weight that you do when you pick this up. You'll find that reading online or just watching videos, whatever have you, some people prefer a lot more weight and other people will prefer less weight. This one's actually a 30-pound weighted blanket, so I went with the higher end of what you could do. I would probably recommend, if you're someone brand new to weighted blankets, I'd probably recommend somewhere around the 20 to 25 pound range. I think this was a little on the higher side, and I think that's partly the reason my wife wasn't a huge fan of it. So I think if I were to make another purchase again of this particular blanket or any weighted blanket, I would probably go with a 20-pound as opposed to the 30, and I think that's a good starting point. In terms of the blanket itself, the fabric is very, very soft. This is really, again, gonna keep you very cozy. You can see as I try to like lift this, you have a lot of weight that's basically distributed evenly throughout the bag. This is a cover that can be removed, so there's a zipper on this that you can unzip the entire thing, and if you need to wash the exterior cover, you can do that. I think it's very comfortable. Again, in laying under it, it's going to keep you very grounded. That's the best way I could kind of describe it. So if you're sleeping at night, say you're a side sleeper, I know in my case, I'll be one of those people that's going to like roll constantly back to the left, back to the right, onto my back, onto my stomach, and I'm kind of moving around all through the night. This is going to prevent that from happening and ultimately leave you probably rested a lot better than you would have otherwise. But again, I think it's going to be preference. I would say recommend going with like around a 20-pound size, and maybe starting there and seeing if that's something you like. If you don't, you could always return it and increase the weight and get a different size, or maybe even decrease the weight. I even have another weighted blanket here that's a little smaller. This is nice for just like using like in a chair, something like that, something really small. And this one's only 5 pounds. And even that, it's significant compared to like your standard sheet or just a standard comfort or something like that, right? Where the weight is really distributed all throughout. But I think the advantages of this are really good. I personally think it's a really awesome blanket. It just may not be that it's for everyone. So I thought I'd just give my 2 cents on this. I think if you are looking to try something like this out, there's really no risk. You could buy it, and if you decide that, hey, this isn't for me, you can always decide to send it back because, hey, this just wasn't something I was happy with, or I'd rather go back to the standard blanket I've been using. But I think it's definitely worth trying and seeing if it helps with some of the things that I mentioned. So anyway, I hope you guys found this review helpful, and I'll talk to you later.